What are we doing here today? What are we thinking about?
We're reading our notebooks. We're
Yes.
thinking about an interesting topic that we've actually had for a while. That we're gonna do. I'm kind of excited about it. It's more of just talking about the question being, um, I guess the topic of growing up into the person your younger self would feel comfortable and safe with. And I thought that was a really interesting topic when I think I was just browsing online when I found it.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen a bunch of TikToks that mentioned it at some
oh,
point.
really?
Yeah, a while ago. And it's just like, oh, this is an example of, how you'd feel safe, with yourself.
Mhm.
I don't know, something like that. I've just briefly seen it, and then you were like, "Hey, I want to do this as a topic." And it's just kind of been hanging around, and then this week we were like, "Oh,
Funny enough, we made plans to go ahead and like do a little bit of research for this topic. Um, Going online, I couldn't really find anything with these specific words.
same
So,
here, same here." So you kind of it kind of provoked, like, you had to think on your own
yeah,
initially, which is not a bad
it's
thing.
not.
Like, that's probably what one should be doing, but the internet is like the brain of all the people who are on the internet, so
It's
kind of
crazy.
helps. So, what was kind of your initial take when you heard that? Just to start off, like, without any of the research, what did you hear that and like react? How did you react to that when you heard it?
Um, I don't remember where, but I did see in a video, and they posed the question: are you the person you are today? The person, you know, did you grow up into the person you would feel safe with if you were younger? I thought that was interesting because I never thought about that. Things I do now, would I be comfortable? And I feel like it does play a pretty, at least a decent role, because as a child, you don't really know what's happening, and then as you experience life, you kind of gather those things and I guess take on certain
Characteristics?
yes, characteristics, as just because of the way you grew up. If you
Mm-hmm.
didn't like something, you try and change it,
Yeah,
type of
from your
thing. Yeah,
experiences, you gotcha.
I thought that was just a really interesting thing.
So,
So,
do you feel like you're at that place at all? Like, if you, little Usa, were to have to hang around you, do you think you'd feel, safe?
I definitely think so.
Mm-hmm.
um at the same time, I know there are a bunch of things, everyone, myself included, I have a lot to work on. So I feel like you generally do grow up to be the person your younger self would be more comfortable with, but there can always be more improvements that you can make yourself feel even more safe if you think back at it.
I feel like if you're just generally trying to not be a terrible person, you'll end up being closer to what you think would be what you'd feel safe with as a kid.
Mm,
So that's one thing. It's like, if you don't try to improve at all, or Im- improve the situation you're in, then you'll probably go down a weird way, and maybe you won't as a kid. Like, you wouldn't feel safe with you now, but I feel like if you generally try to go in the right direction, you'll hit that at some point. So
yeah. And not to mention, as a kid, you never really think about, I guess, more things you would when you grow up, like finances
yeah,
and when whatnot, because
all your
yeah,
you
it's
only feel the feelings. You only
yeah,
feel the personal interaction. You don't feel the, like, all the stress of the future and the past and the things you got to do and responsibility. So
exactly.